Dr. Jones Pullen here with a fun way to think about adding more fruits and vegetables to your diet. The idea is to eat the rainbow. So why does color matter? We know that the color of the food is a reflection of the nutrients in the food. Red foods are great for our heart. Orange foods are great for our immune system. Yellow foods are great for our skin. Green foods are great for our bones. And purple foods are great for our brain function. So by eating a variety of foods, we know that you're getting the proper balance of nutrients, minerals, and vitamins. So which of the three colors will you be introducing into your plate today? The science behind eating the rainbow. Did you know that the color of the fruits and vegetables is a reflection of the nutrients inside? So strawberries and tomatoes are red. They contain lycopene, which is really good for our hearts. Orange fruits and vegetables like carrots are full of beta carotene, which is excellent for our immune systems. Yellow fruits and vegetables are full of antioxidants that help our skin to glow. Green fruits and vegetables are full of calcium, which is great for our bones, and lots of other phytochemicals. And then purple fruits and vegetables like blueberries, beets, and blackberries contain antioxidants, which is important for our brain health. So by keeping a variety of fruits and vegetables in the diet, you can introduce different vitamins, minerals that are important for your body's function. So which three of the colors will you be introducing into your plate today? So choosing to eat the rainbow isn't just about nutrition. It's about you. It's about you making yourself a priority. So we know that the way that we eat affects the way that we feel, and the way that we feel affects the way that we eat. And I want you to feel good. I want you to feel healthy and strong, and I want your brain to function at its absolute peak performance. And the way that we can do that is by introducing the rainbow, a variety of fruits and vegetables. So you don't have to do this overnight. I encourage you to just make small changes. Add one additional fruit or vegetable to your diet every day. Or eat something that you haven't had in a really long time that you used to like years ago. It's really about adding that variety. I believe in you, and I know that you are important, and it's worth making that change to introduce eating the rainbow. So I'm here in the break room in my office, and I'm getting ready to enjoy my beautiful chopped salad that I made this morning. And I thought of another reason why it's important to eat the rainbow, and it's because our eyes appreciate beauty. So when we think about the different types of hunger, our eyes get hungry too, and they crave beauty. So when we have prepared a beautiful dish full of color, it's very satisfying for us to see that. That's another reason why when you're feeling hungry, sometimes you can just look at a beautiful buffet and just feel very satisfied. You don't even need to really eat it. It's just seeing it is just so satisfying. So keep that in mind when you're putting together your plate, is make it beautiful, because your brain craves beauty. So here's a fun way that we can eat the rainbow together. I'm inviting you on a 7-day challenge to help me to eat the rainbow. So on our first day, we will introduce red foods. Think of strawberries, tomatoes. And then on the second day, we will introduce orange foods like oranges and carrots. On day 3, we will introduce yellow foods, things like pineapple, yellow peppers. On day 4, we will have green foods, things like spinach, broccoli, and my favorite, arugula. On day 5, we will introduce the purple foods, things like blueberries, blackberries, and beets. And then on day 6, we'll mix all of the colors together. And then on day 7, you get to pick your favorite color and share it with me. By making these small changes, we can make big differences in our health. So I hope you'll join me on this 7-day challenge. Today's challenge is to use red foods in our diet. So in order to get fruits and vegetables, enough fruits and vegetables throughout the day, it's important that we think about breakfast as well and how we can add fruits and vegetables to that meal. So I wanted to share with you an easy make-ahead recipe that you can do using a red food, strawberries. So I've chopped about a cup of strawberries here, and I'm gonna put that in my little container. This is an awesome meal prep container. I think it's La Parfait, I'm probably saying that wrong. But it's a sort of a giant kind of mason jar. They have these at Whole Foods and also on Amazon. So I like to take my jar, and I'm just gonna add my strawberries. And then I've got about a half a cup of blueberries as well. So we'll add the blueberries. And then I had some blackberries, so we'll add some blackberries. So got this beautiful combination of our red strawberries and then our other berries mixed in here. And then what I like to do is add just a little squeeze of lemon. And then we can add, if you want, you can add a little bit of monk fruit sweetener. As you know, this has fiber as well as very low calorie. So just give it a little stir here. And then we want to add probably just a tablespoon is really enough. Just a little bit to sweeten it up. Sometimes this time of year, the berries are a little bit bitter. So we'll add that in. And then what I do on top of that is I add a little bit of a Greek yogurt. So it's important when you're picking a Greek yogurt that you make sure that you get one without any added sugar. So oftentimes this is plain, a plain Greek yogurt. But I'm using a plant-based Greek yogurt that is vanilla, unsweetened. It actually has vanilla beans in the mix. So it doesn't need any sweetener. It's absolutely delicious. So I'm just gonna add that right on top of the berries. And this is so good. I make a couple of these on Sunday evenings and they just get better, you know, the next few early days of the week. So I just add my little bit of Greek yogurt there. And then to finish it off, I'm just gonna add a little bit of cinnamon. Cinnamon is so good for us and it actually helps to lower our blood sugar. So I'm just gonna do a little sprinkle of my cinnamon on there. And that is it, so easy. You can make a few of these on Sunday and then eat them all throughout the week. So I just pop that lid on there and it's good to go. I'll put that in the refrigerator. The berries mixed together with the lemon juice and the cinnamon, and it's absolutely delicious. So here's a fun way that you can add some red fruits to your diet. Have fun eating the rainbow. Today's challenge is to use red foods in our diet. So in order to get fruits and vegetables, enough fruits and vegetables throughout the day, it's important that we think about breakfast as well and how we can add fruits and vegetables to that meal. So I wanted to share with you an easy make-ahead recipe that you can do using a red food, strawberries. So I've chopped about a cup of strawberries here and I'm gonna put that in my little container. This is an awesome meal prep container. I think it's La Parfait, I'm probably saying that wrong. But it's sort of a giant kind of mason jar. They have these at Whole Foods and also on Amazon. So I like to take my jar and I'm just gonna add my strawberries. And then I've got about a half a cup of blueberries as well. So we'll add the blueberries. And then I had some blackberries, so we'll add some blackberries. So got this beautiful combination of our red strawberries and then our other berries mixed in here. And then what I like to do is add just a little squeeze of lemon. And then we can add, if you want, you can add a little bit of monk fruit sweetener. As you know, this has fiber as well as very low calorie. So just give it a little stir here. And then we want to add probably just a tablespoon is really enough. Just a little bit to sweeten it up. Sometimes this time of year, the berries are a little bit bitter. So we'll add that in. And then what I do on top of that is I add a little bit of a Greek yogurt. So it's important when you're picking a Greek yogurt that you make sure that you get one without any added sugar. So oftentimes this is plain, a plain Greek yogurt. But I'm using a plant-based Greek yogurt that is vanilla, unsweetened. It actually has vanilla beans in the mix. So it doesn't need any sweetener. It's absolutely delicious. So I'm just gonna add that right on top of the berries. And this is so good. I make a couple of these on Sunday evenings and they just get better, you know, the next few early days of the week. So I just add my little bit of Greek yogurt there. And then to finish it off, I'm just gonna add a little bit of cinnamon. Cinnamon is so good for us and it actually helps to lower our blood sugar. So I'm just gonna do a little sprinkle of my cinnamon on there. And that is it, so easy. You can make a few of these on Sunday and then eat them all throughout the week. So I just pop that lid on there and it's good to go. I'll put that in the refrigerator. The berries mixed together with the lemon juice and the cinnamon, and it's absolutely delicious. So here's a fun way that you can add some red fruits to your diet. Have fun eating the rainbow.
So today's challenge is to incorporate a yellow vegetable. So I actually thought this was going to be a lot more difficult than it ended up being, and I had so many different yellow options, but I settled on a yellow squash because this is readily available and familiar to most folks. And so it's something that you should be able to locate and incorporate into your diet. So Yellow squash is nutritious and healthy. One medium yellow squash has about 2 grams of fiber. So all I did was just took the yellow squash and I put it into slices because I'm going to go ahead and roast this in the air fryer. So I'm just going to take those slices of the medium yellow squash, put that into a bowl, and I'm going to cover it with maybe about a tablespoon of olive oil just to kind of lightly coat it. So we'll get a nice light coating of the olive oil on there. Stir that around so that each piece has just a bit of the oil on there. And then what I like to do is I actually put the zucchinis out, lay them out on a little bit of tin foil. So I lay them out flat, and then I like to cover them with Mrs. Dash. Mrs. Dash is an amazing salt alternative. It's a potassium salt, and this one happens to be loaded with herbs and spices. It's absolutely delicious. I encourage you to try some of these salt alternatives. Potassium is also amazing because it can help to lower your blood pressure. So after I've coated the zucchini, lay them out on the tin foil, I'm gonna give them a nice coating of the salt alternative with some herbs, and you may have some fresh herbs that you'd like to add with that. You can also add some pepper, season it to your liking. And then I just pop that into the air fryer for just a few minutes, maybe about 5 to 6 minutes, because it's gonna soften up really quickly. And we don't wanna overcook zucchini or the squash because it can get really sort of mushy. And the longer that we cook food, obviously we can damage the nutrients inside. So I popped it in the air fryer for just a short time and then took them out and just got them plated, and they look absolutely amazing. So there's some roasted yellow squash for you on our challenge to eat through the rainbow. So I hope that you're having fun with this challenge. I certainly am. And I've learned about so many different foods. So I hope that you enjoy.
All right, so we're going to talk about orange foods. Today it's our challenge to integrate orange foods into our diet. So I want to show you a really delicious, easy way to have sweet potatoes. So what I've got here is about 1.5 cups of already cooked sweet potatoes. You can cook these how you like. I just zapped mine in the microwave. And then some monk fruit sweetener, and about 1/2 cup of a Greek yogurt, and some pumpkin pie seasoning. So what I like to do is, in a container or on a plate, just put out my sweet potato. This is so easy, and it's actually delicious even cold. You can make these ahead of time and store them, and they're just honestly so delicious. It's like having pumpkin pie every day. I love this dish. So I've got my sweet potato. I'm just gonna basically cover it in my Greek yogurt. Really easy. And when you're picking Greek yogurt, it's really important, or really any yogurt, that you're making sure that it doesn't have any added sugar. So I eat a plant-forward diet, and so I eat a non-dairy yogurt. So I want to make sure when I'm checking my ingredients that it doesn't have any added sugar. So when you're getting your Greek yogurt, make sure you're reading the labels and that they're not adding sugar. And then lastly, I'm gonna add some monk fruit sweetener. So this has fiber and it's very low in calories. 2 tablespoons is only 10 calories. So just gonna give it a little shake here. And then usually I'll measure this out, but I don't have my little tablespoon over here. So it's about 2 tablespoons. I'm just gonna kind of drizzle this over the top. And there we go. And that's about it. We're gonna sprinkle that with a little bit of pumpkin pie seasoning. I always keep this on hand. It's so good on dishes and also in coffee. That is it. It is so easy, and it is absolutely delicious. When I was thinking about making this, I was just so excited because it is so yummy. So here's a really easy dish that you can make even ahead of time. It's great for breakfast or even in the evenings to help you to integrate orange foods into your diet. So today our challenge is to add green veggies to our diet. So I wanted to give you 2 different options. The first one is arugula. Arugula is a delicious lettuce with a peppery taste. And if you've read the book, The Blue Zone, you know that it is featured heavily in the Mediterranean diet since it grows prolifically throughout the Mediterranean region. So this is a delicious way to add some interest and flavor to your salads without having to add any dressings. And then next is dill. Dill is absolutely delicious. If you like ranch, you likely will enjoy dill. So I like to pick up a bushel each week. I just chop it up and add a little bit to each of my salads. And it's very bright and it gives a lot of flavor and interest as you're eating your salad. So again, these are some things that you can add to your diet throughout the week to add nutrition, interest, without having to add any additional dressing. So These are our green foods as we march through our Eating the Rainbow Challenge.
All right, Dr. Jones pulling back, and today we are on the purple foods on our Eat the Rainbow Challenge. So today for our purple foods, I have selected a purple or a red cabbage. And this is an amazing, super easy recipe that is delicious and packed full of really great ingredients. So I started off with about 2 cups or about a half of a red or purple cabbage, and that's finely chopped. So I'm gonna add to that about a cup of Granny Smith or green apples, and then about 1/3 cup of vegan or low-fat mayonnaise. Just add that together there. And then I'm just gonna stir in about 2 teaspoons of the pumpkin seeds. These are roasted, unsalted pumpkin seeds. I'm gonna stir all that together, get the mayonnaise worked in, and then I'm going to add about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. So this is great because it will kind of help to break down the vegetables and make them a little bit softer. There we go. So about a tablespoon there. And you can add more if you like to add more acidity to your food, that's fine. Vinegar is great because when you add acidity to your food, you actually lower the amount of sugar that you absorb. This is obviously a very low sugar recipe, but that's a little trick that you can do to help you reduce the amount of sugar, especially if you're having like a bread product or something like that. So I'm going to stir it all together, add a couple of pinches of pepper. Again, you can season it the way that you like. Really super simple. I like pepper, so I'm going to add some, and I may add more later. So we're just going to stir that together. You let it sit for about 30 minutes. Everything softens up and melts together, and it's absolutely delicious. This is what it looks like finished. It is really, really super yummy and very healthy. So I hope that you enjoy this purple food as you eat your way through the rainbow.
So I wanted to show you a chopped salad recipe that you can put together ahead of time that is delicious and includes the different colors of the rainbow and is hearty enough that you can make it a few days ahead. And if you assemble it in the order that I'm going to describe, it helps it to last a little bit longer. So I'm going to start off with some celery, and this is about a half a cup of celery. And these don't have to be exact measurements. I'm just giving you an idea in case you want to be tracking your macros. And then I'm going to add about a half a cup of carrots. And then a half a cup of some yellow peppers. And then we're going to get our white from our onions. Onions are so yummy, and I feel like they always really kick up a salad. And then I had some beets, so I'm going to go ahead and add the beets. And then I had made a bowl of black beans, so I'm going to go ahead and add some beans too. This is going to give us some color as well as some additional flavor. So we've got that all together. I start with those more, tough ingredients at the bottom. And then what I'm gonna do is add about a tablespoon or 2 of olive oil. So I'm just gonna coat everything in the olive oil. There we go. Nice and healthy fat there. And then I'm gonna add some vinegar. Again, about a tablespoon or 2, just depending on your preference, on your taste for vinegar. And then I like to add a little squeeze of lemon. Again, this is gonna soften up those veggies. And some sprinkles of my favorite salt-free seasoning here. I've got some Mrs. Dash. There's lots of different ones, but the point is that it's salt-free. So we're just gonna coat that there. Then what I do is now I add my lettuce. So I wanna kind of keep it above that vinegar and the oil so that the lettuce doesn't deteriorate. And I've got about 2 cups or 2 handfuls of lettuce here that I've pre-washed. Then I'm gonna add that. And the last thing I add, because they're kind of delicate, is my tomatoes. So I add my tomatoes right on top. So I put the salad together in this order. Every time I make these ahead on Sunday evenings, I tend to make a couple of these, 2 or 3 of them, and then they last throughout the week so that I can take those and pack them and bring them in my lunch. So I assemble them in this order. We have all the beautiful colors of the rainbow. I like to put it into a Tupperware, and then when I get to the office just before my lunch, I like to flip it over and kind of shake it, and then all of the ingredients mix together. And by then, the veggies have soaked in that vinegar and all of the yummy seasoning. It's absolutely delicious. So this is a fun salad you can make ahead of time so that you can integrate all of the colors of the rainbow.
So here's a quick shot of what the salad looks like after it's all put together. So yummy and all the colors of the rainbow. So Dr. Jones Poland here, and I want to talk to you about one of my favorite types of foods, beans and legumes, and how it's important that you have a variety of these and that you also incorporate that into your rainbow. So one thing to know about beans and legumes is that by eating them, there's a positive association with your lifespan. So that means that the more beans and legumes you have in the diet, it can increase your life expectancy. So the recommendation is about 2 servings of beans and legumes daily. And a serving is about a half a cup of cooked beans and legumes. So when you're thinking about having these in your diet, make sure that you have a variety. I was talking with a friend this week who told me that she only eats garbanzo beans. It's the only type of bean that she eats. And I said, hey, that's a great opportunity to think about adding that into your rainbow and looking for a different variety. So we do have some red beans or kidney beans, some black beans. My favorite, I love white beans. These are so amazing in different soups. And then the green mung beans. And then lentils. There's a variety of lentils available as well. So these are readily available. They're very inexpensive and extremely easy to prepare. What I like to do on Sundays is just put together a couple of batches of beans in my Instapot, and then that way I can incorporate them in recipes all throughout the week. So I hope that you will incorporate beans and legumes into your diet. It's really important that you consider their addition because of the fiber, the nutrients, the proteins, and then also the positive association with your life expectancy. So I hope that you enjoy eating the rainbow and that you'll think about a rainbow of a variety of your beans and legumes as well.